So as I was saying, whenever I see something that can benefit young people, I like it, right? And I will share it and whatever, so that young people could take advantage and learn a little bit more. All right. The first one that intrigued me was Prime. That's still ongoing. That is still ongoing. And this one here, which is the Youth Agribusiness Project, this is intriguing as well. So for those of you young people out there who are interested in doing a little bit of farming, but it only caters, it's targeting, and I will share that information from the article there, all right? But it's targeting folks in certain areas. Now, this is how I like to do it, right? I am going to throw out as much as possible from the article that is coming from searchlight.vc. And at this point, I need you to listen carefully to the points that are coming out from the article. Listen carefully. Come to your own set of conclusions, whether positive, negative, unbiased, balanced, whatever it is, you come constructive. All right? You come to your own conclusions and pull out what strikes you most. And you hit me up either on Facebook or WhatsApp. And let's continue talking. All right? Now, a project aimed at decreasing youth unemployment, underemployment, and poverty through the development of agribusinesses has been launched in SVG. Now, it was a project between two ministries. The ministry that is responsible for youth affairs and the ministry that is responsible for agriculture. All right? Excellent. Excellent. I love to see when they come together for a common good. Okay? Now, it's facilitated by the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. Should be familiar with a lot of people, all right? Officially launched on Friday. It was spoken about on Saturday. It says here, the project goal is to contribute to decreasing youth unemployment, underemployment, and poverty related to SDG2. I'm not sure what that is. It aims to do this by enhancing three areas: production, capacity, and competitiveness of young agri entrepreneurs by having better access to lands, facilities, and equipment and skills and seed capital, and by enhancing the capacity of project partners to actually deliver and multiply support to these youth groups. All right, that was a technical officer there from FAO. Now, like I said before, they are focusing on three community youth groups. I'm going to list them out for you. Chateau, what is it? Passion, what is that? From Chateau Belair, Youth and Agriculture Multipurpose Cooperative, YAMCO. I like that. YAMCO. Like, you know, playing yam there. Yes. YAMCO in Bayabu. So we have a win with a leeward there. And the innovative, Youth in Agribusiness Multipurpose, YAMCO in Leyu. So we have Chateau Belair, Leyu, and Bayabu. Okay? They noted that the analysis leading to the design of the project identified several challenges with regard to the groups. These weaknesses have been identified to include weak business capacity, weak crop production capacity. Y'all paying attention? Good. Lack of access to irrigation, short-term or no access to lands, inadequacies of facilities used for processing, lack of equipment, and limited financial capacity to contribute to or raise funds. Sounds like a massive hurdle for both ministries and the FAO to overcome with these three youth groups: Chantabile, Leyu, and Bayabo. But it's not impossible. I'm sure it's not impossible. Because in terms of land, I'm absolutely certain that the government has something in place to assist these individuals. I might tell her they're going to do something. Yeah?
You have reached the voicemail box of 17.
Let me try it again. All right, the lines are there.
You have reached the voice.
I was attempting to reach the Minister of Agriculture, but it ain't working. It ain't working. Things rough, boy. Things rough. It's all already in a boy. It's all already. A youth wanting to get some information on agriculture, and it's just so difficult. Maybe I should just go back to the PS again. Well, let's see. Listen, let me call somebody else. Let me go down until the person answers, hopefully. All right? By the end of the project, we expect the country to have improved capacity to design policies and mechanisms for access of youth agribusinesses to land facilities and business development tools. Young entrepreneurs trained to produce competitive commodities and products.
I'm sorry, but the
next person answering me neither. Or maybe they're in the bathroom at this time. But when you see the missed call, you can call me back. Thanks. All right. Now, where was I? Trained to produce competitive commodities and products and improves capacity of implementation agencies to facilitate upgrading of youth-based farms and agro-processing ventures to meet basic market standards. This is not going to be an easy feat. But I hope, and oftentimes this is the problem, you have an excellent initiative that is being put out. You have things that are put in place to assist persons. And hello, good morning.
Good morning, my sister. I just wanted to tell you that I'm glad you're bringing up agriculture. I beg for the topic to be discussed. And those people, relevant people, not just those in the administration, but those also that are supposed to give us information from the opposition. Honorable Annie Yusuf did it, but I tell you, I go beyond St. Vincent. I look at St. Lucia, Grenada, Dominica. I'm not lying to you. I wouldn't lie. Because, my sister, I didn't realize how important agriculture was.
You didn't?
Until we miss it. And I can tell you, St. Lucia, Grenada, Dominica, I've listened to the Prime Minister, not the current one there, but Chastany, and they highlighted agriculture. Just like I saw the Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria, 2014-15, when crude was falling, he said, we are going to get our young people back because we put all our eggs in one basket in terms of petrol. And I could tell you by 2019, 61% of total employment is agriculture in Nigeria, and the young people were targeted. You know how? You know how they targeted them? He said, obviously, we literally put all our eggs in petrol basket. We are now going to fly. We have to go back to the drawing board. The basic would be to get our young people back. You know what they did? Open up an agriculture bank so that the young people could go in, borrow monies, get machineries, and fly. And now Nigeria is flying again in the agriculture. In terms of the Widowed Islands, they're working hard over the years. You see, Dominica, they hit many times, Grenada many times with hurricane. We, God, spare us, but we are at the bottom of the scale. And I'm saying our young people are literally hurting. Our farmers are literally 85% of our land they followed. And so you're talking prime grant and all, and you're talking about these things, my sister, cannot be sustained when you have a dead economy. This ain't no Hamilton making it.
Hold on. What cannot be sustained because of a dead economy?
You need money, my sister. In order
Do you realize that this is an initiative with the FAO?
Could I tell you something? What is happening now in the most productive parts of our country?
Hold on, Mr. Hamilton.
You're talking.
And you're raining on people parade this morning here, man. The
No, but I'm
government has
talking
come.
factual things.
But hold on, man.
Go ahead.
They come without an initiative. You think they will come without having the resources to back it up so that it'll fail? How am I going to make the government look if they fail the project?
Okay, let me just say to you, why is it that Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica, why is it Annie Eustace was very, very concerned about making sure that he got the very fundamentals by going back to bananas because you have a weekly income? You can't, my sister. Do you understand what is happening to all of the financial institutions, including the Great America? They're cash strapped with the
Listen,
finances.
let me tell you something this morning. I'm going to end the call right now. This is something positive, and I want to pull out the
It can't work on
positives.
the ULP.
Okay, too bad. Too bad for you. Who could it work under? You don't like NDP. You don't like ULP. Who could it work under? And this is my problem sometimes. Allow the projects, give them a chance. Whether or not you are satisfied with them taking 20 years to start something, or 21 years, or 19 years, or 17 years, whatever time frame they take, they might take forever. But it's on the books right now. And young people need something else. To come with your doom and gloom and raining on people parade just like that, you are going to discourage people. I am not going to allow it. So for young folks out there in agriculture, or for young people out there are looking for something to do, or you might be interested in it and you have some sort of problem. And this is another problem that I have. This is something that I would love to talk about in depth with people who know. People who are at the top and know about the policies and know what's going on behind the scenes. To give out factual information. And it's so hard, so difficult, and virtually impossible to pin them down for whatever reason. Y'all see I tried to call live here on the radio to talk about it because it is important. And you can't get them. Somebody passing you on to somebody else and you cannot get them. But come election time, you could get them any hour of the day. Listen to me. What's your time? Listen to me. When it comes to youth, it is something that I'm always going to push. When it comes to something that can benefit young people, it's something that I'm always going to push. Do not rain on people's parade. Do not shoot down something without giving it a try. Too many young people are facing problems right now. Too many young people are turning to alcohol, sex, and drugs. So for all the naysayers out there who are believing because of politics and because you don't like certain people that a project will fail off the bat without giving it a try, go somewhere else with that form of negativity. Not this morning and not here. All right, so we got some comments coming in on WhatsApp. We got some comments coming in from Facebook as well. If you want to call us, 4571043. You know what I'm going to do at this time? No man, Jimmy. Like sometimes it does have to answer certain people. Sometimes it does have to answer these things. You understand? Because there are people out there who may not call who have the same sort of mentality. Give them a try. This is something that's going to benefit young people. Give them a try. Give young people a try. Even if they take forever to start it, or even if they take forever to realize or to admit that we have a problem with unemployment, underemployment, and poverty, at least they're dealing with it. So let's move on. Let us move on. Okay? Good. Now, I was about to make a link with somebody. All right? Working on that. To talk about some of the challenges that young people are facing in agriculture right now. Now they have addressed in right. Before I get to that, before I get to that, as we didn't get the, you know what? Let me try one more time. Uno más. One more time. All right. Because I gotta prove something to y'all.
You have reached
Waste of time. Waste of time. Waste of time. Anyways, responses. Responses. The question is coming from Facebook. The question is, how many of these young people like myself go and bend the back in the hot sun to work land, especially in this blazing heat? You might be surprised at the number of people who might come forward to take part in this initiative. 1. 2. Does farming always have to involve, or agriculture always have to involve bending your back in the hot sun? Does it always have to involve bending your back in the hot sun? Because agriculture has improved over the years. There's been technology, there's aquaponics, there's hydroponics, all of those things that are in place that people do not necessarily have to be in the hot sun. People don't necessarily have to be bending their backs. What can be put in place, maybe you can have them raised so you don't have to be bending your back and hurting your back. And it probably could be under a greenhouse. So you never know. They might have that sort of things in place to assist persons. You never know. You never know. And why, as you mentioned that, there really should be nothing stopping in terms of agriculture. People, even people who have physical disabilities, should be able to capitalize on the industry. All right. Somebody says that man is a dreamer. Somebody says another fake company set up. It's not a fake company. It is not a company. 3 youth organizations across 3 different communities in the country. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Christian. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Hey, I'm all right. Yeah. And how is the youth doing this morning?
He's wonderful, man. He's wonderful.
That's good. That's good.
I'm
And I know
raising
you're
him to
doing all
become a
right.
farmer, a full-time or part-time farmer.
For
Yeah.
me?
No, my youth man.
Oh, well, in life, you got to, everybody go can be in the office, right? And I do think if the youth then put their mind to do what they had to do, then can be, prosper in life, by working. As we say, everything you do, you have to bend your back. Even though when you're taking a shower, you have to bend your back. You understand?
Oh,
So that's,
oh! I
that's
thought you
part
were
of
gonna
life.
say another thing there. Go on through, man. Go on through.
Yeah, so that's part of life. Ain't nothing wrong if you bend your back. When you get tired, you're working for yourself. Yeah, you hold a shady and take a break and give God thanks and ask God to help you. Give you the strength to do what you're doing. You're doing something right. Later on, you're gonna reap, the benefit from it. You know
Yes,
what I'm
yes,
saying?
please. Yes, please.
So it's life. You're nothing wrong for the youth. Some youth have to go out there and make living in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can be in an office. So
Yeah, and
nothing
everybody
wrong
should
with that.
not
But
be in an office as well.
huh?
Everybody should not be stuck behind the
No,
desk
come
either.
on. So if everybody in the office who going go plant the soil?
Well, we're gonna be
You have to
eating
plant
ramen
food.
half an hour and a half later.
Yeah, we're gonna have to plant the food too, So and then as we say, once no one na go there and molest what them plant, later on then go get the benefit from it. And things go be better for them too, because then go got them own dollars, then go buy whatever them need and make themselves happy. So at the same time, some people, they always have a negative, no matter what you try and no matter what you try to do. Somebody will go come and criticize somewhere. You understand? So in life, you're gonna put your mind to what you want and not listen to the people who got the negative thoughts about what you're doing.
Yes,
Just
sir.
bonfire upon them. That's all about it.
Yeah.
You have a blessed day,
Smashing the ball.
Christian.
All right. Have a good day. Have a good day. Thank you so much. All right. If you want to call 4571043. All righty then. Hello. I gotta tell you something. That was an error. The thing that I ain't gonna mention it because. All right. Okay. So let me call somebody who will actually answer me this morning. If you know the Lord is blessing you, why worry about? All right. Somebody says, I agree with you, Crystal. Some persons are too politically biased. Hi, good morning.
Hi, morning.
How are you
Morning.
doing? This voice sounds familiar. It's probably who I called.
Yes, yes,
All
yes.
right. How are you doing this morning? You out in the farm this morning?
Nah, I haven't been there for the morning. I'll be there in the afternoon.
Okay, when the sun cool down a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So we have online, I'm not going to share his name, but he is a young farmer. Not going to share the age either, but he is considered a youth farmer. How are things with farming these days? And how long have you been farming?
Okay, so I've been farming for about, say, 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Where's
Yeah,
that?
about that. Yeah,
Long
about
time.
2010. Long
So when
time.
I
Yeah.
when I just get my work, you farming? When I just starting to make my money?
Thanks to my dad who encouraged me that way.
Okay. Your dad is a farmer too?
Yeah,
Okay. I see what's happening there. All right. Continue.
yeah.
Continue.
So after the volcano, I had some damages and so on,
Mhm.
and I never really um, did anything right after, just to make sure we are in the all clear and um, things have settled down. So I've now started back um, revitalizing my farm and putting it back to where it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Have you gotten any assistance from the government in terms of getting back on your feet?
No, that has not happened. But I would have liked in the stages when we had Prime going on, I applied
Mm-hmm.
with a really nice project.
Mm-hmm.
That did not come through. But I had already had plans to do the project even before. So I had already started.
Okay. Okay. Good
So I
stuff.
was
Good stuff.
hoping um, having the initial start would have been um, a plus on my part. But it didn't work out that way. But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
There's still opportunities out there for
Definitely.
young farmers as well. Now, I want to talk a bit about the challenges that you're facing. Either I don't know if you could put them together. No, let me focus on youth farming. Highlight for me some of the challenges that you're facing as a young farmer.
Okay. So I could be general as well.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily have to be my um, like a problem that I face.
Uh-huh.
But so, for example, the attitude towards agriculture from just a societal level,
Mm-hmm.
I could see it being a deterrent for young people because it's not something that is praised or is recommended for young people to go into. You don't get that vibe from persons who are in society who will tell you, oh, you should go into agriculture. More than likely, you're gonna hear go to school, so you don't have to get into agriculture,
Mm.
which is bad. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that negative attitude towards agriculture. But I want to say, gone are the days, because I've listened to some people who called in before. Gone are the days when agriculture is all about the hot sun backbreaking, always have to be there, um, type of thing. Look, for example, I could stay home where I am, and my farm would operate almost 80% without me being there. And that's where I think agriculture needs to get to, and young people need to see it that way. So
Mm-hmm.
that is not necessarily I have to be out there in the hot sun all day.
Okay.
So let me
Okay.
just elaborate a bit here.
Mm-hmm.
So my water system is automatic.
Ooh.
So I just set the timer and walk away.
Ooh.
It will do frequency, so how many times in a day, and it will do duration for how long. And I just check up on it ever so often to make sure it's doing what it's doing.
Uh-huh.
And that's that.
And that would also include like your fertilizing. It would be automatic too, huh?
Right. So you could
Oh.
plumb your irrigation system such that you have a fertigation tank that would allow water to come in with your liquid fertilizer, and simultaneously as you water, the plant will get its fertilizer one time. So
Was that
there's
expensive to set up?
not necessarily, not necessarily. With everything, there's some cost. But the timer, I could tell you, the timer is about 50 US. Top. And that's something that's a problem in agriculture that I want to touch on. You can't get those things here, unfortunately. So
Technological advances, limited
Yeah.
supply, and that you have to bring in everything pretty much.
So probably that's why people don't see agriculture in a different way unless you're looking for it. But I always tell people, if you go on YouTube, my favorite teacher there,
Good. Mine
there's
too.
there's things to learn. Yeah, there's things to learn, and I would really like for us to move in that direction where these things are available in St. Vincent. Maybe somebody might not be able to order something online and would like to get a timer. I don't think you go anywhere in St. Vincent and get a timer. Understand?
Even the sort of information, even outside of YouTube, the sort of information to help to improve farming techniques. You have a degree in agriculture, correct?
Correct.
Right. And you would go and look for that information. You've been privy to that. But for young people who want to get involved, where could they go? Is there any place that they could go to get that sort of information, like the Ministry of Agriculture, to try to find out if there are any new agricultural practices that have been put in place within the past 5 or 10 years?
Ah, interesting question. What I do know is the Ministry of Agriculture should have extension officers. And these people are the link between farmers and the ministry. And they provide technical information in terms of the support that they give. So you first probably have to know who your extension officer is. And then they should have the technical knowledge to disseminate to you if so needed. At least that is what should happen.
Okay, that's good. Some of the problems that you face, well, that farmers, youth
Right.
farmers, that's what we're talking about, that youth farmers face within the sector in SVJ, apart from the negative outlook on it, what else do you guys face?
Right. So there's always pre-deal larceny.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
right. So people will come and steal your stuff. That probably was around from the beginning of time. So we know that. So that's major because it's very discouraging to be planting and doing the work and then somebody comes and want to eat before you. Right. So that's a problem there. Major problem. So for me it goes back again to having things. So for example, in the dry season you're gonna have less rain. So farmers do experience drought. So it would be nice if water tanks were subsidized so that farmers could have water catchment so that in the dry season we could have food all year round. I think what we need to look at agriculture as is we need to get to the point where we have food security locked down. And if we look at our situation here in many Caribbean countries, not just in Vincent, we are not food secured. We import a lot of the stuff that we consume. So we need to get to the point where we are in that food secured position, and that means we have to be able to plant all year round. And water necessity is something that is very critical. So I would say subsidizing, let's say, farm input, things like your fertilizer, things like your water tank storage. Those are things that would go a long way and are problems that farmers face. I remember watching a news report maybe last year or so that they had farmers who were complaining that the drought is giving them some issues. For me now, I capitalize on planting in the dry season. So you see, like now when rain is falling, I'm collecting my water. So that in the dry season now, when everybody, well not everybody, but when people have issues with water storage, I can do my farming quite easily.
You could continue as normal pretty much.
Basically.
And that would put you at an additional advantage in terms of when during that area when supply is low and demand still remains relatively high or consistent, you could capitalize on pricing. Not true.
Precisely.
Some industry
But
secrets there.
precisely. But what I would like though,
Mm-hmm.
another problem is guaranteed prices. So we haven't got to that stage as yet,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something I would like to see because there are times when prices would go through the roof. Tomatoes will be $10 a pound
Mm-hmm.
when there is shortages, which I feel the consumer should not necessarily have to be able to pay that amount of money for tomatoes and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
You should not have to pay $2 for tomatoes when you have a glut on the market because then farmers are not necessarily making any money at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Standardizing a price, guaranteeing a price does a lot for farmers, especially, for example, if you're going to budget how much money you're going to make at the end of the crop. So I'm going to plant tomatoes and I'm going to just hope that I get a good price. I think we should get to the point where, okay, the price for tomatoes is $5 a pound, set.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could say, okay, if I want to make $5,000, I could average how many pounds one plant would produce. So I would know, okay, if one plant produces, let's say, 6 pounds, I need to plant X amount of plants to make my goal, the amount of I'm trying to make. So those things put farmers in a more
it reduces risk, really and truly.
Right. So you would know how to go about planning and budgeting, and it just puts more things into focus and minimizes the risk as well.
Okay. What about financing? Money and land.
Financing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't. Well, this is my personal view.
Mm-hmm.
From being in the field of agriculture and having my degree and so on, what they would tell you is getting credit as a farmer for farm development purposes is not the easiest thing to come by, because I mean farming is a risky business in the sense that you could have a natural disaster that comes and destroy your crops. So then lending agency might say, how am I going to guarantee you that you're going to pay me back the money that you borrowed?
Yeah.
Let's suppose there's a fire or there's something that destroy your crops.
Or pretty last name.
So we do not have any development bank here in St. Vincent, which would primarily be focused on lending farmers money at a reduced interest rate and so on, so that the repayment is not as high and so on. Those things are yet to be a reality there. So
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so that could be an issue because for me to develop my farm, I have to use my salary to do it, get it off the ground and invest in it. Not that I shouldn't, but the lending agency might not be as forthcoming with a farmer who approaches and say, you know, I want to invest $10,000 in my irrigation system.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Some very informative and interesting information that you shared there. And I feel like I wish I had some more time with you, but we have to move on right now and take a quick break. Thank you so much for facilitating us this morning and sharing all of that information. All the best on the farm later on this afternoon. I'm slightly jealous.
All right, no problem. Well, you can always ask for information and I readily provide it. Right? So.
Yes. You're part of my seed bank.
All right.
All right. Have a good day. Thank you so much. You heard it there, live and direct from a young farmer, some of the challenges that he faces and some of the things that he has put in place in his farm to mitigate some of the challenges that he would normally face or he might face or he could face during the dry season. And rather interesting, some of the things or initiatives that the government can put in place to assist young farmers. Now, a quick break. It is 3 minutes after 8 o'clock. I feel this morning I'm going to get plenty licks, but that's all right. My back broad. Quickly. Good morning to Joshua. Yeah. Big things come in little packages. You know, understand what I'm saying? Somebody says young people jumping 5 in a row for their demise. Oh, they will not answer you. You've been blocked apparently. So nah, man, the phone off, man. The phone off, man. You must have about people calling him. Understand? Hi, good morning. I am just joining the program. Realize you're talking about agriculture. We have to think about food security. So agriculture is the way to go. And somebody says very informative. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And I hope young people are listening who want to take advantage of whatever programs are in place in terms of agriculture. Let me tell you. You cannot lose. You cannot